I'm backing up my truck, I'm gonna hook it up, loading up my boat with all my gear. I've been working hard all week, trying to make ends meet, spending time wishing I was fishing. Well, Terry Wickstrom wants to take you fishing. Gather up your gear and come along. Well, Terry Wickstrom wants to take you fishing.
This is Terry Wickstrom. Join Karen Cullum, Greg Clajo, and me as we take you to some of our favorite fishing spots from Colorado to Minnesota, the Arctic Circle to Central America and beyond, as we revisit episodes of Mountain States Fishing and Angling Adventures Television on the best of fishing with Terry Wickstrom.
Hey, I'm standing in the Madison River with one of my most favorite people in the fly fishing world, Bob Jacklin. Bob, what a pleasure to fish with you again.
My pleasure.
I tell you, we get to see each other at the sport shows, but the time we get on the water together, it seems to get rare, but we need to change that.
We gotta do that. Yeah.
We're up here. We're actually up here. Last time I came up fish, we're up here filming, Karen and the crew were up here filming your fly tying DVD and did a really nice job on it. So now we're up here, I tell you what, we're up here filming. I shouldn't say we. They might let me run camera. They'll keep me out of the water so I won't fish. But Karen and the crew will be putting together Bob's fly casting DVD, so you people need to be watching for that. And let me tell you, the time I spent with this guy, typically when I fish with him, I put my rod away and just watch, because the way he handles the fly rod, Bob, you are just one of the best casters in the world. I'm always in awe of the way you can handle a fly line.
Sometimes.
Don't be so humble. He really is. But I tell you what, hopefully I'm going to get to sneak out and do a little fishing. We're on the Madison here. We're going to be filming Bob's fly casting DVD. And then when I'm not helping out the camera crews whatever way I can, I'm going to try to sneak away, fish a little bit. Bob and I'll fish together a little bit, and you'll see Bob fishing. But part of the show, I'm going to step aside, and you're going to see, maybe we'll get some secrets, because we're going to take some clips out of some of the filming we do for this casting video, and we'll get some of the best information you could find from one of the best guys in fly fishing. So stay tuned for that. And I think we'll probably get into a fish or two along the way.
Well, let's hope so.
I tell you what, you got some ideas on what we might do?
Well, in this pool here, it's a nice pool, and we're just below Hebgen Dam, maybe about 400 or 500 yards below the dam. The water's cold. It's early in the spring yet for us. It's June, so things are not really happening dry fly. So we're going to go with a nymph or two here, and then we're going to go downstream as the river goes into Quake Lake. That's a golden opportunity, and maybe we can get a little dry fly action toward the end of the day.
I tell you what, stay tuned. We're gonna go away to a break. When we get back, we'll have some great information from Mr. Bob Jacklin. We'll get some glimpses of his fly casting video, some great tips for how you can fly fish, and maybe even a little fishing. Right here on the Madison River, right out of West Yellowstone, Montana.
I'm going to put it over here. Over on the left side, it's not going to hit you in the face. They ought to take that. It's a good fish too. He took that rusty spinner, dry fly, and there he is. Nice fish. Now I got to get my line in. That's a good fish on a dry fly on that rusty spinner. Now I'm going to have to go downstream to land this guy because the current has hit a little rainbow. Got my slack in. That was a long cast and the right fly. So it pays to change flies. See if I can get him in here without, yeah, he's coming. He's not real big, but he's very nice. About a 15-inch rainbow. I'm quite happy. Oh, maybe 16. Oh yeah, that's a nice fish. See if I can get the net here. Took him on a dry fly. First one of the year in this area. See if I can bring him right into the net. Whoa, we got him. Nice rainbow trout, about 16 inches. It doesn't get any better than this. Nice fish. I'll let him go so I can go back and try to get another one. Let's take a look at this baby. Oh, the fly came out. Nice. I use all barbless, so the fly simply just popped right out. And let's see if I can get a look at this fish. There he is. I handle him with wet hands, very carefully. And there he is. Just a little one, I'll let him go. Good fish. Hey, I can see if I can go get another one of those. You know what I say, you get the little ones and you get the big ones. Why don't I rig you up with a nymph and have you in that same spot?
Yeah, maybe I'll do that.
Little whitefish.
A little whitefish, all
Little
right.
whitefish.
I've been dry fly fishing and Bob was nymph fishing, and we got nice little
Real little whitefish.
Little whitefish. Is there quite a few whitefish in the river?
Oh yes, they're a good fish. They're a wild fish and a native fish for this area. And we let them unhook them and let them go right away.
How big do the whitefish get here?
Oh, they get pretty good size, maybe up to 4 pounds.
And you know what? When the water gets cold, whitefish give you an option where you can fly fish, and when the trout might not bite, the whitefish will.
That's right. Oh yeah.
When does it freeze and become?
This is good all winter long, and it's open all winter. So this
we're
section,
below the lake.
We're below the lake, so it stays a constant in the 40-degree temperature water. So you can fish it all in February or March, whenever you can get out.
Do you get trout all year long too?
Mostly trout, but whitefish also.
Okay.
Oh sure.
Well, I think I'm going to rig up a nymph and see if I can hook up a fish.
I got a new indicator I want you to try, so let's rig that up and get you right up on that corner and see if we can't get a fish.
All right.
Let's do that. Make one big loop, Ken, not even a cast, just a hurl up there. Good. Now mend it. Good. Now tip, get the rod high in the air, and get that slack out of there. Good. Now follow it down, lower the rod tip. Yeah, follow that nymph technique right on down. Let it swim. Hook. Oh, that's something. All right, do that again. Get it out there a little more. That's it. Mend it. Good.
What is the most prevalent fish here? Rainbows, browns?
I think it's rainbow. Yeah.
But you get some browns occasionally.
Oh yeah, you get big browns here. And
what's the biggest brown you've seen come out of here that you've caught here?
4 pounds. 4 pounds is about my best fish here. And that's a, that's a nice 18 to 20 inch fish. Hook, hook. Got him. Hook him. Hook. Good. Strip. Oh, that's a bigger fish.
Yeah, that's a better fish.
A little bit bigger fish. I don't know what it is. Maybe another whitey.
A whitefish or a trout, but
keep stripping them. Got it.
Got him. You know what I think about when we're doing this? You know how you see folks how we're stripping this in and not getting it on the reel? Now this is a bigger fish.
A little better, yeah.
If it wants to get on the reel, it will. But I think one of the biggest mistakes people make is when they try to force the fish onto the reel.
Yeah, that's another whitefish. We'll get him. Now we're getting closer. Maybe we'll get a nice rainbow out of here.
A little bigger one.
Yep.
I'm having fun. I'll just take the rod here.
Well, that's a nicer fish.
Oh yeah, they're like a mussel. I'll tell you what, they're so strong. These mountain whitefish.
Yeah, just let them go as soon as you can, and you make it. There you go.
We'll get them out there. Another Madison River whitefish.
Yep.
Well,
hey, good deal.
We're having some fun. What I was saying, folks, I'm going to show you real quick here. Here I'm sitting with the expert. I'm going to tell you how to fly fish. But too often, Bob, people, they hook a fish and they got the slack out. They go here. In the meantime, the fish gets slack and gets away.
Exactly.
Keep that tight. If he takes line, if he wants to get on the reel, he'll get on the reel.
He'll get on the reel. That's exactly right.
Now, a little fish like that, it's not as important. But boy, a big fish, hook up with a big brown in this river or something, you got a fight on your hands.
That's right.
Hey, I tell you what, folks. Well, Bob's gone to re-rig. Let's sneak away and let's show you some of the tips we picked up while we were filming his casting DVD. This man's a wealth of information, and here's some great pointers from Bob Jacklin.
Okay, what we want to do now is get out a little line, and we're going to talk about the roll cast. And I think the roll cast is the most important cast in fly fishing. And the reason it's the most important, you use it all the time. It's also the easiest to learn, and it's also the cast that most people do not do correctly. The roll cast is very simple if you follow a couple of basic rules. Rule number 1 is you bring the line back slow. raise your elbow and a rod to a vertical position, tilted slightly away from your right shoulder. Let the water tension grab your line on the right side, and you come forward and you make the cast. But a forward cast or a roll cast is nothing more than a forward cast just done on the water. And of course, the reason we use a roll cast is to roll when we can't do a back cast. I've got trees right behind me and I can't do a back cast, so I'm going to roll cast. But we also use a roll cast for everything else. A roll cast gets us out of trouble. I'm going to put myself in some trouble. This is a mess. This will happen to you, especially a beginner fisherman, but all of us, this is what you're going to have, a mess. So to get out of that mess, shorten up your line a little, bring it up, let your loop or D get behind you. We call it a D loop behind you. Stop the rod, looking at the target, and the line will roll right to the target. Now here's the point. On roll casting, everybody wants to take the rod, they want to bring it forward and push it down and make it roll. I'll do this again, I'm doing it wrong. They want to push it down and make it roll out. And that's not what you want. That is definitely not what you want. In fly casting, you want the tip of the rod moving parallel and on a straight plane to a stop. So you bring the roll back, you form your loop. I got my loop form your loop. Now I'm going to bring the tip of the rod and stop it right here and stop. Now look, the fly goes right to the target. We'll do it again. Bring it back close to your body. Nice tight loop. Bring it forward and stop, and the line rolls forward. That's a basic roll cast. Let's do it again. Bring it back. We got a little bit of wind, but not much, and roll it out. That's a basic roll. Now, let's go over that fundamentals again. Bring it back to your right shoulder, vertical with the rod, slightly off shoulder, so you don't hit yourself, and bring it forward and stop. Now you've got a roll cast. Now I'm going to show you the rules. There's a couple of rules in roll casting. When the line is on your right side, anywhere here on the right side, when your line is on the right side of you, you always cast from the right. But for some reason in a river, the line's going to end up on your left side somewhere. And when you do, you must cast from what I call the off shoulder. And I'm going to do it wrong for you right now. This is not correct. And there's a lot of fishermen do this all their lives, fishing for 50 years, some of them, and they'll do this cast. And you know what? You can catch a lot of fish doing this cast. But you're kind of shortchanging yourself. When you make this cast and the line's on your left side, bring the rod up over your head. Now you've got your shoulder in it right here. You look down and put the line right where you want it to go. Let's do that again. The line's over on that side. We bring it up over our shoulder. We're looking at the target. We bring it forward, roll it out, and the line rolls out. That's a basic roll cast. Now that the line's on our right, we're going to cast from our right. Usually there's a few people out there that are left-handed. If you're lefty, your tough cast is going to be over your shoulder, off shoulder from your right. You bring it forward and put it right on the target. If the line ends up on your left side, that's your good side, you bring it back and put it right on the target and the line will go out. So that's the basic roll cast. Simple pick up and lay down.
Hey, here comes Bob. He'll be back here with his nymph rig like mine rigged up. And I tell you what, instead of watching me work with him, let's watch the master and see what he can do with this rig.
Whoop, did you see that? I had a strike. All right, let's go up there again. Right up there, I had a little strike. That's interesting. Not much of a strike out there on anything. No, we're just working upriver here, and we're gonna. There's a good fish. I don't know what it is, but he's heavy. It could be a big whitey or a big trout, but it's a heavy fish. That's a good fish. He's taking line. Whoa, he is taking a lot of line. That's a good fish. That's one of the best fish I have out in a long time. He feels real big. This fish might be better than 10 pounds. He is a really big fish. Maybe I can land him in here. This is the biggest fish I've had on in a long time. This is a real big boy. I hope it's a trout. It looks like a trout. Oh, it looks like a steelhead. This guy's about 10-pound fish. I got him. A really big trout. Got him on a nymph. I'm not sure what. I had 2 nymphs on. Little March Brown. This is a big trout. I've caught steelhead, and this guy's as big as any steelhead I've ever caught. Come on. Come on, fella. You got to take it easy with him. He's not ready to be landed. This guy's a 10-pound brown, I'm guessing. Come on, in here, fella. In here. Come on, baby. In this slack water here. Get out of that log. Oh, this guy's a real big boy. This guy's, I can't even bring the line in anymore. I got my indicator right up to the rod. We've got a 10-pound fish. This is a real trophy. This is the biggest fish I've taken in this Madison. This guy is a real big boy. Easy. 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 See if I can get him over here a little bit in a little shallower water. Oh yeah, this guy's about 30 inches. He's as big as any steelhead as I've taken. Oh, he's better than that. He might be 15 pounds. This guy's the biggest thing I ever caught in a trout. This ought to make a show if we can land him. I can't bring my line in anymore. I got my indicator stopping my leader. This guy is a really big trout. Come on, come on, come on, come on. Whoa! There's a 15-pound fish. That's the biggest fish I've taken. That fish is gonna go 15 pounds. Look at that baby. Man, you talk about a fish. That is a big boy. This fish is probably, I'm guessing he's better than 10 pounds. I'm guessing he's 12 pounds, a big hook male. And I landed him on my new little caddis nymph I just tied, a real little caddis nymph, size 14. This is one big trout. That's the biggest trout I've gotten in my life. Look at that baby. There's a Joe Brooks fish, and I got him on that little green caddis nymph of mine, little caddis larva, right there. Look at that fish. There's one for the record books.
You know, whether I'm fishing a river in Colorado or the flats off the Florida Keys, one of my most important accessories are my Haber Vision polarized sunglasses. Not only do they allow me to see into the water, see the fish, but they protect my eyes from the intense UV. Haber Vision makes great high-end polarized sunglasses for men and women, and you can avoid the typical retail markup for high-end glasses by logging on to habervision.com and using the member code FISHTECH.
Oh, you know what? Whoa, what a fish! What a fish!
That was something else.
I tell you what, I think we're going to call it a day because I don't think we're going to do any better than that.
I may not do any better than that the rest of my life.
That has a solid 10-pound brown,
yep.
About 30 inches long.
Yep.
What a fish. I tell you what, folks, I told you to watch him throw that nymph rig. He knew what he was doing with it, I'll tell you.
And I got lucky, and that also helps.
You know, that's, you've caught bigger fish of other species like steelhead and things, but that's the biggest brown trout of your life?
Biggest brown trout I ever caught.
And the biggest, obviously then the biggest one you ever caught in the Madison. So
right.
It just shows you come up here and see Bob. Now you won't guarantee him a 10-pound brown
no,
if they come up and fish with you, will you?
But you know, I wanted a 10-pound brown, and that's my goal. And I say that at all my shows, and I've come only up to about 7 or 8 pounds over 37 years. And this is 10-pounder. I got him right on the Madison.
Congratulations again. What a fit. I mean, tell folks, it's going to be hard to close the show. My heart's just pumping. I thought you might lose that fish. What a fight. Just what an incredible fish. But before we go, we got some people we want to thank.
Sure.
First of all, I want to thank the Holiday Inn for providing accommodations for us. Second time we've been up here. They take really good care of us. We're going to put their contact information up here. If you're coming up to fish, the West Yellowstone area is not a better place to stay, is there?
It's great.
They got a great restaurant. They got bar facilities right there, pool and everything. The rates are reasonable. Give them a call. Well, once again, the information up here. And if you are coming up and you want to fish up here, you need to get a hold of this man, Bob Jacklin, Jacklin's Fly Shop. By the way, you probably got the fly. What'd you catch that big fish on?
I got it on a new fly. It's an old type pattern, but I just tied up a little, what we call a little olive, actually it's a little green rockworm caddis larva. green caddis larva. Nothing to it, size 14.
And it's just, that fish came in, that little fly, we'll give you a close-up of one of those flies.
Yep.
Tremendous, tremendous fly. I mean, you wouldn't think a fish that big would eat something that small.
No, and this river is loaded with these green rockworm caddis, this Madison up here in this upper Madison. And that's a free living caddis that just lives right by itself without a case until it's ready to pupate. So under the rocks and all through the water, we have a lot of these little green worms, just like that.
Well, I tell you what, if people come up, you'll sell them one of those flies, won't you?
Absolutely.
I'll tell you what, if you do come up to the Yellowstone area, West Yellowstone, go to Jacklin's Fly Shop. You have a full guide service. Tell me a little bit before we go, what do you offer as far as guiding?
We actually, what we do is teach people and make them better, or work with them so they get better at fly fishing. So we're instructors. So we go out for the day and you learn a little bit more, and at the end of the day you're a better qualified fly caster, fly fisherman. That's what we do. That's what we pride ourselves on. Plus, you might catch some fish. That's the other thing. You know.
And what waters do you typically guide on?
I'm mainly licensed on the Madison and the state of Montana, pretty much the whole state, and Yellowstone Park.
In Yellowstone National Park. What a place to fish. What a beautiful thing. But I'll tell you what he said about learning is obviously true. I hope just watching this television show, you got a feel for just what Bob could teach you if you're on the water. We'll put his fly shop's website and phone numbers right up here. Get a hold of him if you're planning a trip. And watch for the DVD coming out on fly casting. His fly tying DVD is in the stores now. And Bob, I tell you what a way to end the day.
Oh, it doesn't get any better than that.
Thank
you so much.
What a pleasure to spend the time on the water with a gentleman like yourself and see the excitement of catching a fish like that.
Well,
I mean, I can't think of a better experience.
It's once in a lifetime to get a fish that big. That's a whopper.
I'll tell you what, folks, this was a true adventure, and I hope you enjoyed it. And join us next week for Angling Adventures.